إلا الله لا إله إلا الله محمد.
Now here's the reality, guys. There's a lot of implications about salah that many Muslims think they understand. Like, for example, what is the ruling about, not folding the hands, and you just keep your hands down and you pray? What happens if I just want to hold one hand and not the other? What happens if I take left hand over right and not right hand over left? What happens if I put my hands below my belly button or I put my hands on the chest here? What happens instead of saying Allahu Akbar, I say Ar-Rahman? I don't say Allahu Akbar. I start off with something else. What happens if in Surah Al-Fatiha I start off and I recite and then I say صِرَاطَ الَّذِينَ أَنْعَمْتَ عَلَيْهِمْ. I said صِرَاطَ الَّذِينَ. I mentioned something wrong. There's no such word in Arabic as al-lazi or lazina. There's no such word in Arabic. What does that do for the salah? Does the salah still count? Does my Fatiha count? According to the majority of scholars, the whole salah is nullified. Some ulama said if you are praying behind an imam and he says صِرَاطَ الَّذِينَ, it is permissible for you to walk out of the salah and break from him. Do not follow him because his salah was nullified. So what do? And then other implications. What happens if you're praying and a little kid is playing in front of you and you do this? Or you don't even do that. You just do a lazy little crack, just a tiny little smile. What does that do for the salah? What happens if you're praying and you feel like, mashallah, dinner is kind of stuck somewhere here? So you feel it now, you start chewing on it and you swallow it. Does that nullify the salah? Are you allowed to eat anything or swallow anything whilst praying? What happens if you have a sore throat and you constantly need to spit? Now you need to spit, but you're still in salah. Are you allowed to spit on the floor if you're praying outside? I mean, don't spit on the carpet for sure, right? But are you allowed to do that? What do? What happens if somebody breaks open the line? Do you walk? How many steps are you allowed to take? Is it just 3 or 2, or can you literally just be like this? Okay, somebody took that one, you go back, and you're still in salah, right? All of these things here, believe it or not, they're very practical. It's things that you guys, I'm sure, have seen. A lot of Muslims think that they understand the fiqh rulings behind this. But this course here, insha'Allah, is designed to teach you what you should do. When mistakes happen in salah, when it comes time to praying the salah, how do you know you have a perfect ruku' and sujood? How do you know you have a perfect salah? And let me tell you, the Prophet ﷺ once mentioned that if your salah is good on the Day of Judgment, what happens with everything else? All of everything else is good. Salah is the key to entering you in Jannah. If you want the key to enter you in Jannah, the key is in salah. Perfected, and insha'Allah the rest of your life is also perfected. Also in the course here we have discussion on khushu'. Khushu' does not mean fear of Allah. A lot of people think it means when you have khushu', you need to be in this deep state of concentration. The word khushu', it means that your body, your limbs are physically afraid of Allah. So when you cry, that's called khushu'. When you're focused and you're not like scratching and you're not fixing, you're not tying your hijab, that's not khushu' anymore. So khushu' is that your body itself illustrates a fear to Allah Azza wa Jal. How do you develop it? The course is going to teach you that. And then of course, as we mentioned, also it's going to have common mistakes in prayer. Common mistakes in prayer. So it's like the person who's praying. He's praying. And he's just praying. Does the salah count? Does he lose reward? What happens to this person? Or what happens if a person feels an itch on his foot? So he's like this and he can't do it, so he bends down, he scratches his foot, and then he comes back up. What happens if a person's cell phone rings and he shuts it off? I mean, I see this so many times. I'll call you back. And he goes back into salah. What happens to his salah? Nullified? Does he have to repeat? Does he just have to repeat the rak'ah as opposed to the entire salah? All of these things, guys, the brothers, inshallah, will give you all the details to enroll into this course. This is a fundamental course. It's a course that if you are
أرجو
Muslim, you
رضاك
better be
يا
in it.
أنت الرحيم يا هبني عطاك يا أنت الكريم من